Hi all. I think we are all back on the same link. So we are going ahead with our Mumbai chapter, which is a panel discussion on safe coaching clinic. Just before we start off, let me quickly thank our founding sponsor, Innovation Roots, which is a leading consulting and training service provider helping organizations to achieve business agility and beyond. It is one of the leaders and pioneers of niche publishing services and well known for content collaboration with global thought leaders, authors, and creators. You may refer to www.innovationroots.com for more details. I would like to thank our founding sponsor, Agile. Agile is a product offering from Tata Consultancy Services Limited. It is a purely cloud-based enterprise agile planning tool along with DevOps capabilities. Enterprises can use Agile to adopt agile practices or scale across multiple Scrum and Kanban teams using enterprise scaling frameworks such as SAFe, Disciplined Agile, LESS, and more. You can also try Agile for 20 users for 30 days, which is free of cost by signing up at agile.io. And you may reach out to us for more inquiries or exclusive product demos. Check out our Agile page on Agile Network India, which is posted on our chat box. Quick do's and don'ts for all our participants. Join the event 5 minutes before the start time. I would request you all to use high quality speakers or headphones for better sound quality. I would highly recommend you all to keep your microphones muted and videos disabled as this may cause disturbance and bandwidth issues. Questions will be taken via chat box at any point of time. You have any questions, you may drop the questions into the chat box. And at the end of the session, our facilitator or moderator will help and read out the questions for you as per the time availability. I would request you all to fill in the feedback form after the event, which will help us understand more about the event management. We appreciate your cooperation. With no further delay, let me call upon Prashant, who's the moderator of the session, to introduce. And I would request all the panelists as well to come on the microphones and the webcams. Over to you, Prashant.
Thanks, Amina, for a great start. Good morning, everyone, for joining again on Sunday morning. And we will go ahead with our next session. This is Prashant Neherkar. I'm in IT for 18 plus years and contributing to the area of Scrum Agile for 10 plus years. Currently, I'm actively working as a scale program consultant for the implementation of scale framework at Majesco. And it's my pleasure to be here as a part of AMI to share few of our experience with the help of our panel members in this forum. So Raj is also a part of our ANI team as a volunteer, and he has a great experience in terms of implementation of SAFe and related agile framework. So Raj, quickly introduce yourself with your experience, and then we can move on to the next panel, Raj.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'm Raj Lingapuri, and I've been in the industry for about 25 years, and about 11 years onwards, I've been practicing the Agile. While I was in Accenture, it started. Previous that, it was all waterfall, RUP, and all other stuff, right? So, post which played multiple roles at the team, organization level to the portfolio level and all other areas, and very passionate about spreading the agile ways of working, the behavior patterns changes to the high performance delivery at a team and an organizational level. Presently, I've been playing as a lead coach for a large bank, handling Singapore, India, and Malaysia team at a team levels and the program level. That's me. I can hand over to Malti.
Thanks, Raj.
Welcome.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. I would like to thank ANI for giving me this opportunity. I'm currently working with Vajasa. It's been 20 years in the IT industry, but last 9 years practicing Agile, trying out different techniques, different approaches. Started with Scrum, explored Kanban, and then now Lean Agile methodologies and SAFe. So my journey in Agile started 9 years back, and currently I'm taking care of all Agile needs of a segment within one business unit within Vajasa. And I'm very passionate about lean agile practices and trying out experimenting different techniques and then helping team navigate through the current through the challenges. So that's all about me. Thank you.
Thanks, Malti. Can we please go to Ritik? Yeah, hi Ritik. Good morning.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining this session on Sunday morning. I'm Ritik Dodiwala, Agile coach from Capgemini, Mumbai. I have participated in development of Agile lift-off courseware for Capgemini University along with other 22 experts across the globe in year 2017. I am SPC 5 who conducted a training workshop for Safe SA as well as Safe POPM for Capgemini colleagues, and I have also developed two workshops on one on emotional intelligence in Agile, and another one is for on Kaikaku and Kaizen mindsets. This is my brief introduction. Thank you, everyone.
Great, Ritik. Thanks for introduction. So with this great panel we have available here and for today's talk on sharing their experience in terms of the implementation of SAFe, I'm sure that there must be various questions which will be coming as SAFe is the most popular framework today in terms of the enterprise agile transformation. To just start with, I would like to request Raj to share his view in terms of when we talk about scale agile frameworks, what are the key benefits which the organization or the teams can look forward or will be getting by the implementation of the SAFe.
The key advantage I can see is that the organizations, when they try to go to the new ways of working at a big level, at an organizational level, it's a big challenge for them because we are working with the people now. It's basically their mindsets, their ego levels, their challenges, their inhibitions. Going to the new ways of working, it's going to be a bit difficult for any organizations to mend their minds and go into the new ways of working. That's the biggest challenge usually they face it. Any organizations, right? So what SAFe has come into the picture is basically it has become a little bit of more prescribed way of doing it. Not that you do experimentation, not that you do basically try and run it and do it, and again you fail it, again do it. It's because the organizations are looking at the product delivery at a faster pace to the market because the technology is changing, the requirements of the customer is changing. So because of that, can somebody go on a mic, please? Thank you. So because of that particular one, organizations have a challenge with the both the ends. One, they have to make it the team to work faster and minimum efficient way, and also they need to meet the demand of the customers and the new ever increasing challenges with the technologies, right? So it's the most critical part right now any organizations are. So for this particular one, so to address this, SAFe has come up with the principles and practices which are basically aligned in terms of how am I going to scale it up from the team level, how am I going to scale these particular ways of working at a step-by-step level to the program level next one, and how am I going to do it basically at a large scale, and how am I going to do this at a portfolio and an organizational level. There are the clear principles, rules, and methodologies, and they put it on place, and then that is helping organizations to make easy to use the SAFe and implement it. And if you have a chance, and any particular interest in this area, there is a SAFe where you go to scaleagileframework.com. It has clearly defined and stating that these are the four constructs at a big picture wise. You can look at it, and it has also given case studies, right? So how it is helping not only in the private organizations, also in the government sector. All big, large US sectors or any other government sectors also being implemented by the SAFe, and they're getting benefits in four areas, right? So what they say is that there is about 30 to 40% increment in the product, built-in quality, right? There is another area where you can say customer satisfaction. There's an improvement in the customer satisfaction, certain percentage of it. There is also improvement in the employee engagement, right? They also implemented the faster to the market. These are the four key areas any organizations they look at it, and these four areas have been clearly defined. Why it has been implemented, when it has implemented, what are the benefits into it, and it's been clearly defined in the SAFe side. And we can take it offline, but the question is, yes, there is lots of benefits, guys. I just want to spark it here, and if somebody wants to
Thanks,
add it,
Raj.
please go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks, Raj, for sharing the benefits and what Raj has said. You can see all those benefits on the Scaled Agile Framework case study section. So whatever mentioned by the Raj in terms of quality, productivity, percentage number, there are a lot of examples which you can refer to. So there are great questions coming in the chat window. I will take the next question from there. And probably I will request Malti to take it. When to not use the SAFe?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So generally, organizations see that like if SAFE is working in one part of the organization, probably they try to take out all the learnings, or they just want to implement the same processes in other part of the business. But that shouldn't be the way. We need to understand: is there any need for doing SAFE in the other parts as well? Because are there any dependencies across the teams, like the primary essence of being simplicity is missed out. Like if teams can manage in a simplified way, why to complicate the things, why to have safe implementation? There are reasons why we have to go for safe implementation framework. If there are dependencies, the framework gives, encompasses all the best practices, the guidelines and everything. But if a team can independently work as a just scrum team, we need to let that be a scrum team. We don't have to go implementing safe. So this is a primary mistake that I have seen. So not just copying that safe has worked in one part of the business, we are going to implement it in another part of the business.
Thanks, Malti, for your input. Ritik, you want to add something to it?
Normally, when we start with SAFE, and so SAFE prescribes that for implementation of essential framework of SAFE, which is very basic version, where we need 50 to 125 people. So when not to use SAFE, when you have people less than 50, then SAFE is not advisable. Then you have other frameworks who can satisfy your needs. Thank you.
Great. Thanks your input, Ritik. So yes, as Malti and Ritik says, it's typically when we move from team agile to the enterprise agile, as described here, we need to have 50 to 125 team member. And if not, probably our Scrum, Kanban, the team frameworks are good enough for us. And that is an area probably we may not be doing, we might be doing an over engineering by adopting safe for a smaller engagement. That's good. Moving on to the next question. How do you calculate expense on to return in safe implementation? So probably I will again go back to Raj to put some light on this. How do you calculate expense to return in safe implementation, Raj?
Okay, so there is a misconception, I believe, Prashant, is that everything we look at in terms of ROI, it's a dollar value, right? We need to look at in terms of tangible and non-tangible ones, right? So we need to see everything is not a dollar amount. So for example, if I want to reduce my call center calls, if they are taking a particular call and they're spending about half an hour, and we need to look at it like there are any person can able to take about in that particular only 10 calls to 12 calls effectively. So there is a need from in one of the organization which I did the transformation. They are not looking for the dollar amount. They are looking for how do I build efficiency within those call center to make that 15 minutes to 5 minutes later than it goes to in the 2 minutes. How do I make this call center team more efficient? Similarly with the development, whatever we do, right? So when I reduce the efficiency, when I increase the efficiency by reducing the lead times and lag times is one of the important area as an ROI. When I increase the performance of a particular application or a deployment cycles of an application, that is also an ROI because we are going to the faster the market. Now, end of the day, when the organization look at it, the top management looks at it in the form of numbers. So all these cumulative small things, what we do at the team level and at a program level, at an organization level, that cumulate to a number dollar amount, that is what happens usually by the end of it. Now, when the question is expenses to the ROI, see, the expenses could be basically the entire people where we spend money for to change their set of mindsets and the culture and the new ways of behaviors, how we're going to do it. There's a large amount of millions and millions of dollars have been spent on it by the organizations. But these billions of dollars, whatever we're doing, are we getting the value of it? Usually, we cannot get that initial phase of a life cycle of any implementation. Usually, it comes into quarter, 3 quarters, 2 quarters, and after about any transformation is halfway through, then we can get those values in terms of tangible and non-tangible. But correlating this to a dollar amount, it's not a good advice in the initial phases. But once we get it to a particular maturity level, then the management looks in that. That's the what we guide them as a coaches to the management, CIO, CEO. When we talk to them, we say that you should not get these things in the development. First, we'll see how the team is maturing those directions to make sure they are aligned to your expectation to meet the demand and deliver faster to the market. That's what we guide.
Thanks, Raj. In terms of your quote where you say it's not only the dollar value, we have to look into the tangible and the intangible benefits of SAFE.
Yeah.
With this,
Yes.
I will take the next question and probably I will take it to Malti. How to measure the actual business value delivered to consume the consumers every week? Probably this question is pointing towards the metrics. So, Malti, would you like to
Mhm.
share your views on it?
Is it every week, Prashant, you mentioned?
Yeah, so the question is asking about the every week, but probably we can cover
Yeah.
overall the
So
measure and grow mechanism.
yeah, so to continue with what Raj has said, initial few sprints, probably we shouldn't be looking at that because team has to settle down. There will be a lot of learning. When we start agile transformation for any organization, team has to understand the ways of working and what is the need of working in agile, including not just the team members, the whole management itself. So probably a couple of sprints, like 5 to 6 sprints, would go and helping teams to settle down. After that, they'll start performing better, and then the reaping in benefits would come into the picture. So the metrics that we would look at, to just to say whether team is doing well or not, the predictability part of it. If team is able to understand what they can commit and what they can deliver every sprint by sprint, then that's a good indication that team is able to function better and then able to function independently. So that's the one metric we generally see whether team is like getting into that maturity, whether they started walking from crawling or like running from walking. So these are the things that we look at. And the velocity shouldn't be like varying between plus or minus 15%. It should be within plus or minus 15 percentage. Like one sprint the team delivers like 50 story points, and the following sprint they deliver 25 or 30 story points. So that gives a lot of variation. The stability need to be attained by the team, and there are a lot of factors uh, that supports this velocity part of it. It's not just the team, whether they have the supporting systems, they have the ecosystem, all of them are aligned or not. So all these need to be set properly in the initial few months, and after that we should look at the metrics part of it. So initially we shouldn't never get into the metrics. We should only see whether they're like improving on ways of working, the methodology, the mindset is improving or not. After that you can have a agreement with the team on like we will be assessing against all these metrics, and then probably this is the right time we should start assessing. So that's how we should go about it. Thanks, Prashant.
Thanks, Malti, for your insight on this area. So, just to add, I mean, along with what Malti said, when we start the safe implementation, it is not about starting measuring right from the day one. If you look at the 7 different competencies provided by the safe, what does it say? That it says that starts with the team and technical agility, then the agile product delivery, then the enterprise solution delivery, and then go to the lean portfolio management. So that's a progressive way of the implementation we should follow. And as we go from one competency to other competency, the measure and grow section will help us to get the respective metrics and implement the metrics in the respective area. Great, Malti. Moving on to the next question. What are the inflexible things about the SAFE? So I would like to re-articulate and rephrase this question, and I will take this question to Ritik.
Uh,
What are the
Prashant,
three?
sorry,
Yeah, hi,
Prashant,
hi.
can I take a step back? Sorry, can I add a
Definitely.
little
No,
bit more, one point onto the last point?
please,
Can I
please.
add it?
Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
please,
Thank
Raj.
you. So I think what Malti said is 100% accurate, and then that's what usually happens, and then many organizations are going this direction, right? However, the SAFE has got very what you call easy way of measuring it at a team level, program level, at an organization. They have given an clear downloadable Excel sheets. It's when you go to the top level and you say metrics, when you click on it, there's an icon, small icon there at the top right corner of the big picture. The icon there. You just click on it. It has given you the spider charts and webs and how do you improve your things in the team. What is the measurements you need to do? All these key metrics is when to do it and how to do it, what is that you need to concentrate. Everything is given for you guys. That is the beauty of safe. What it is, it is not that it will keep you in the dark and not transparent. Everything is given to you. You just have to use it. and get benefited of. I got used it many times and it got benefit for me. And also the top management, they said, oh, is it what we can do? That's the, eyebrows they raised when, because they didn't know how to do that. But now that Safe has given free, it's all free downloadable. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
the toolkit is very, very good that SAFE has
yeah,
provided. Yeah,
exactly. I found it very, very useful actually.
yeah.
Thanks for that add-on, Raj. And probably we might have missed this important point if you would have gone ahead. Okay, so moving further, there is another question which says that what are inflexible things about the SAFe? So I will re-articulate this question. And the way I look at is when we talk about the implementation of SAFe, that big picture comes in our mind. So out of that big picture, what are the must things we need to do? What are the things we can skip? And probably if we start with the essential skip, there are 10-point article which talks about what are the 10 key points which needs to be covered when we are implementing SAFe. So I will take Ritik to put some more lights on it. When we are doing the SAFe, what are the must things and those inflexible things, and what are the things which we can probably customize or leave it. Ritik, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So, what are the essential things about SAFE? As I mentioned, the number of people. To launch initial level of SAFE, you have to have 50 to 125 people to support one art. So, essential things are there should be one art to start with SAFE. There should be one value streams. Value stream is let me explain you what is the value stream. Suppose one nationalized bank wants us or any development organization to develop their loan application. So there are a few steps involved. So that particular development of loan application becomes a value stream, and for the bank it becomes operational value stream. Whereas for a organization who develops that particular application becomes uh, development value streams. For bank it's operational value streams, and for the actual organization it becomes a development value stream. So you need to have a value stream, you need to have art, then you have to have RTE. There is a rule, RTE is like a lead scrum master. Then when we say that we need 50 to 125 people, that means in one team as per SAFe, we can have people from 5 to 11 team members in each team. So minimum there are 5 to 6 teams. Each team has at least one scrum master and one product owner. There are anti patterns that I have one person who is a developer as well as a scrum master, or I have a person who is a, business analyst as well as a product owner. These are some anti patterns to be avoided. uh, then we have to have art sync meeting, which consists of two parts, PO sync as well as scrum of scrum. Scrum of scrum meeting is nothing but where all the uh, team, scrum master from all the various teams. Suppose in our art there are like 10 teams. That means we have at least 5 to 10 scrum master. If we take an example that in one train one scrum master handles two teams, then it becomes five scrum masters. Likewise, either we have equal number of product owners as well. So all scrum master have scrum or scrum meeting happens after every it depends on the complexity of the work. So it may be once in a week or twice in a week, based on a scrum master's understanding with their RTE. RTE is a release train engineer. It's a uh, it will the RTE will act as a chief scrum master, and which is very powerful role in SAFe. So when you say you are implementing SAFe, you have to have one RTE, and you have to have one product manager who is like a chief product owner for all the 10 teams, or all the teams across the art. So these two roles are very essential. As you see in Scrum, there are two specialty role, product owner and a Scrum master. Like in art, you have to have RTE and a product manager, plus you have to have lean management a team who normally funds the value stream. Just now I have explained value stream by giving example of a loan. So normally in traditional approach, we have project wise budget allocated, where in SAFE, when we talk about value stream, funding will be to entire value stream. So that is the essential thing. Uh, and you have to have PI meetings, and then in PI meetings, it can happen after every 10 weeks or 12 weeks based on your understanding. So after every 10 weeks, if you have a PI meeting, then that means you are planning for 5 iteration. If we take one iteration of 2 weeks, so there are like you have to do planning for at least 4 iteration, and you plan work for actual the number of iteration minus one. Why minus one? The last iteration we label it as IP iteration, which is kept reserved as innovation and planning. So there is also anti pattern that in some time in some PI meetings we plan for the plan work for that IP iteration, so we can stop that, and we give allow team members to innovate new things during that particular period. And within that IP iteration only, we arrange PI planning, we arrange inspect and adapt workshops. So another essential thing is to have inspect and adapt workshops as well as PI planning with a lot of precision. And it's a 2-day event. Sometimes nowadays there is a remote ways of working. Because of pandemic, they compel us to connect all such events in a remote way. So we need to test the tools. There are few tools like AHA, Mural are available to arrange the remote planning. And if it comes to remote planning and your teams are distributed across the geography, then it can be extended up to 2.5 day, 3 days or more. So these are some essential things that you have to have when you implement art.
Thanks, Ritik, for that. And
Thank you.
it's kind of a quick overview to the safe big picture. So whatever covered by Ritik is documented there in on a safe agile website. I have posted the link here in the chat window. You can refer to that page, and as you scroll down, you can see there are 10 pointers, which says that these are the 10 basic minimum things one needs to do to attain and start with the essential set. With this, we will move on to the next question, what I can see in the chat window. The question says that any failure case study of available. So instead of calling failure case study, I will re-articulate that. Is there any example where we have not achieved the desired outcome of the SAFE? So again, I will take Raj, request Raj to share his view on it. Any example where we say that we have not achieved a desired benefit of SAFE and probably some reason behind it?
Yeah, I think there are multiple examples there actually. It is not that if you do safe and you become a magic and you deliver. It's not like that. People have a impression that it's a well-defined framework, it's a prescribed one, and then it's easy to implement. It's not. So I'm sorry to say somebody getting disappointed. Yes, it is, because we need to be. It's just a framework. How you use it and how you are making this one to be understood by your tester to a to at the CEO level, how they are going to understand it, what is exactly how we're going to do it, and what is that we need to cultivate it. That's a slow pace of working, iterative and experimental kind of a thing. It is the framework itself is like that, but that doesn't mean that you get a higher, faster rate, higher things in it. When you follow a particular laid out plan, and your team members have to understand this, what is it we are trying to achieve as a vision goal statement, and how are we aligning those things to your ways of working. Once these people are aligned, and then the framework will come into the picture to support you guys. But that doesn't mean the framework itself is going to give you miracles and then do magic for you. It will not. So first and foremost thing is that we as an organization, when we want to get a benefit of it, is basically the success factors of it is many other things we need to do. But how do I fail? Even if we're having this type of framework has been put into place, what are the things? So usually what happens is that the top management thinks, and they think is that Oh, we are talking about velocity. We are talking about faster rate. We are talking about high quality into it. We are talking about people get faster knowledge, and it is not that. Velocity is just a predictability. Just it says how am I going to do that? What is that I can do? So they think about a physics kind of a thing. Velocity means faster ways of learning. No, it's not. There's a wrong impression there in the industry. And other part is that okay, we are doing safe. We will be immediately we get this one to on a 3 months, 4 month journey. We are faster pace. No, it's not that. So the top management have to have a clear guidance and understanding so that they will not push the bottom team to say that we already safe, we are already agile, let's move faster. That is the main key failure for many organizations where the clear indications, clear indicators, and clear lagging and leading indicators kind of a thing in the horizon ways or the portfolio ways. How are we going to define the value stream? If it is not understood by the management, it percolates down to your middle management. Middle management don't even understand anything or what is happening, and they push it down to the bottom people, and the people will be initially so much excited because they are learning something new. But in the meantime, there's a lot of delivery pressure on them, and it will fail. They don't follow the ceremony, they don't follow the principles and values and practices. They miss it out, and basically they cut the corners of all the cut the corners in the quality, and they get failed. That is what I've seen many times happen because the connectivity between all these areas is been not been properly stitched, understood, and then people have been guided in this direction. That is where they are come with many consultants companies are McKinsey's and other big companies. They come with the lift up this big device, and then they will introduce the agile coaches to guide them, and that's what usually happens. It doesn't matter which framework, but this is what the usually trend happens in the many organizations. They fail. We should be
Yeah.
careful.
I just have
Thanks,
one
Raj. One
point.
thing, yeah, please go
I
ahead.
just
Yeah.
have one point. Yeah, value stream identification is very critical in implementing SAFe. So if you don't identify the teams which are like providing value onto this, so generally the organization tend to arrange projects around that value. So that will not definitely help them. We need to identify which part of the organization is giving that value, and then redesign the roles and responsibilities around it is very important. Apart from that, if you want to sustain the benefits of this one, we need to have an external scaffolding. Organization should also think about initiating some kind of center of excellence or community of practices where they can support all these different teams. So that should be the another way of sustaining the success.
Thanks, Malti, for that. So yes, COP, Community of Practice, or LACE, Lean Agile Center of Excellence, these are the typically body needs to be focused while implementation of the SAFe. If those bodies are not there, probably yes, the implementation may leads towards the failure. So looking at the total number of questions coming in, I would like to combine couple of questions. And next question, which I will put here for the panelists is, SAFe has done a great job of marketing. Is it being practical use in the industry? So at the first go, my answer is yes. And that's the reason all these SAFe practitioners are here on this call. In continuation to that, when we are saying that there is the implementation of SAFe, how do we compare along with the other frameworks like LACE or disciplined agile, those frameworks? So the comparison of the adaptation of those enterprise agile frameworks. Who will like to take in? Raj, you want to start? You are on mute probably. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can put some points here, and maybe somebody else can also add it here. So my 2 cents are basically is that I did a research with the top 5 frameworks. Yeah, one SAFE, another one is DAD from the PMI, and another one is Nexus, Spotify, and I don't remember on top of my head another one, right? So these 5 of them I have gone through about researching it, going through these multiple all network in the net only in the Google and Wikipedia and many other sites, right? So gone through it. I collected about 34 points, the key points, the in rows, 34 row elements were there. In those all elements, when I observed it, right, I came to know my understanding is not favoring the safe here because I'm practicing safe for years. So I don't want to say that I'm a safe guy. What I found is this: one Bible, 15, 16 frameworks. The Bible is agility, 4 values and 12 principles. People think all these things, oh, you know what? I'm using Jira and Safe, we are agile. Oh, I'm using SAP Data Nexus and then I'm using version 1, we are totally agile. That is a misconception is there in the entire industry. Of course, this is getting slowly, after 10 years of this, forcefully, people are moving to this direction, or encouraging themselves to do the new ways of working. These things are really changing, but still there is a the old blood is still there. It's still there. The understanding and the misconceptions are there. So what I say, when I did the research, what I found is the clear indication, the relativity between the agile, the 4 values, right? Individual interactions and blah blah blah, the 4 values and 12 principles. The correlation. How am I going to tag these to at each of those steps, like a team level, program level, at a large solution setup? How do I am going to put these principles in practice agility within those things was clearly defined in SAFe. Other ones, they are there. For example, dad. What dad says, you know what? Don't worry about anything. You just experiment it. You club all this one. You can pick a piece from the Scrum. You pick a piece from Nexus. You pick a piece from Safe, and put a hybrid model and then use it. That's what dad says. There's nothing wrong in it. But of course, there is a challenge there. Meaning, your team should be mature enough to pick which one it is. You might do mistakes. They say that you learn it. You learn it. How long? Do you think so? The CEOs and the CEOs are burning dollars. They have a patience to say, okay, after 1 year, I'm going to show some result. It's very difficult. Similarly, there are many other things, Spotify and Nexus and all those stuff. They are good in those areas. It's not that they are wrong, they are bad. But the only thing is that the prescription or the way of articulating, the way of giving the information on the net, everything is there on the net. If I go to Nexus or Spotify, I find difficult to find those documentations or the related material and then try to find it. It's a little bit of struggle for me. I found it, but maybe some people are good in getting the data, I don't know. But for me, it took time for me to understand it and get those parameters, for those framework. So in a cut to cut, I'm really happy with the way the things are going with it and how they're marketing. It's not the marketing, it's there is a value into it. The value of is that how am I going to make sure these principles and values implemented in your organization with the help of safe kind of a thing, and get the value of it is what it's clearly defined. That's the I can see in that way. Maybe if somebody can also add.
Yeah, I will just add one point. I definitely do not have experience working with that, but then I can 100% agree with what Raj has mentioned, because SAFe has given a robust framework. And it doesn't matter if team is following Scrum or Kanban at a team level, but if any organization, a huge organization, big organization, if they want to leverage the benefits of these practices like Scrum or Kanban, and if they want to take out these benefits in a more scalable way, SAFe has everything. They have the complete framework and the practices, the processes and everything. So organization can, including the metrics part of it that Raj has covered. So it's a very good framework that organization can follow, and then if they want to scale all these practices across multiple different departments or different parts of the organization, it answers all their requirements.
Yeah, yeah. I think Prashant, one of the key point here is that I believe you might have understood or you might have known it. Many people know it. If somebody know the safe wise, if somebody doesn't know, there's a good point in the safe when you click on the last bottom of roadmap, the transformation roadmap, how to implement it. It was clearly given into it from waterfall to how you want to transform it. Step by step approach is given for your organization. If you don't like one step, you can skip it and you can see what is the value into it. Everything, and that step also clickable and see where is that, how you're going to do it. That roadmap is clearly defined for you. If it is a small team, what to do it. If it is a big team, how you need to do it. If it is a large team, how you need to practice it. That is what an organization gives you confidence. You know what? Okay, something is there. Let us do experiment on it. Not that if we are throwing some stones in the air and say whether one get click or not. That type of approach is not there, but it is given you a clear indication of roadmap for you guys to do it in an effective way. That's the advantage of SAFe, I can say.
Thanks, Rajan Malti. Moving on to the next interesting question. Where do Scrum Masters report in SAFe? Do they report into R?
Yeah, if somebody wants to take it, go ahead, guys.
Yeah. So in SAFe or any other framework, Scrum Master is not reporting to anyone. It's not a waterfall that you have a team and you have a superior that. So if you call superior as n plus 1 and those who are inferior are n's, then those n's are supposed to report to their n plus 1. That is not the case of Agile. uh, so Scrum Master need not to report anyone, either it is safe or not non-safe. But yes, to get into the sync, to update RT and other stakeholders that how your team is progressing, Scrum Master uh, always joins Scrum of Scrum, which led by RT. And as our daily stand-up, each and every developer is not giving status to anyone. He or she just says about where she is today, what she is planning to do when she is today, means her progress till yesterday, what she is going to plan it for today, and is there any impediment. Likewise, the same pattern will follow in Scrum of Scrum, where each and every Scrum Master will say that where their team are, what they uh, what are the future plans, are they aligned with the iteration goals, and is there any impediment. So they are just sharing that to RT as well as other Scrum Masters. Thank you.
So, Ritik, I will take it back to the concept of the dual operating model. When we talk about the reporting structure, SAFe doesn't say that you need to change the reporting structure by introducing the SAFe. The traditional reporting structure will continue. It will give you the hierarchy, will give you the stability. We don't want you to change the reporting structure to introduce SAFe. What SAFe will do, that will introduce the concept of network by having the value stream, and all the people aligned with the value stream onboarded on the arc irrespective of their reporting structure. So this is what I wanted to link back to the what SAFe says.
Yeah,
Moving
Roles
on to
and
the
sorry, roles
go
and
ahead, man. Yeah.
responsibilities are slightly different for each of them. Like Scrum Master takes care of the team, wherein RTE takes care of inter-team communications, and the dependency is part of it, and also talking to the product management group, and then see how team is like performing against the RTE release train goals. So slightly different on the roles part of it. Yep.
yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Prashant.
So I think, Prashant, we need to be practical here, right? If I am a Scrum Master, I'm a team coach, and I'm an RT at a program level, I'm an ST at a portfolio level, that's well and good. These are all names and jargons, are there frameworks, many things they talk about. Guys, let's be more practical here. For appraisals, right? Year-end appraisals or something, whatever we do, if somebody is there to, make basically measure it, right? That's what usually the industry is there right now. You cannot say that this guy is independent, they cannot report anything. It's not that way, right? So even what Prashant said is that there is nothing structure is there. Cannot report somebody. It's not been there in SAFe. SAFe says that you have an hierarchical organizations, right? It's there, and then you have a network organization. Basically, you might have a peripheral teams are there. Your legal team, your marketing team, your call center team, your IT department, your network. Many peripheral teams are there, right? And these peripheral teams have an hierarchical managers are there in the network team. To what they say is basically what SAFe says is that it is not the question of you need to change your hierarchy. It is not the question of you need to change your network in your network peripheral teams. What it says is that you need to have a dual operating system, which is called as the business agility. How you want to remove it, you need to get the business agility. How we do that? It was clearly defined how a large organizations may able to manage these between these two difficult zones, how they want to collaborate each other is what clearly defined by the SAFe. What it says is that you need to have a defined set of portfolio levels and organization levels at a level of programs and at a large solution, and define this from the top level itself. You clearly define your value streams and align these budgets to those value streams and put the network and your hierarchy together on top of it, so that vertical slicing of organization is very important for you, so that you get a real value of product lines. And the product development lifecycle, PDLC, is what exactly That is meant by the SAFE. What it says that bid these two things together with the value stream definitions, and your budget should be aligned to that product lines. That is what the essence of SAFE is, and that's what the success factor happening. Many organizations, if you see the case studies, many people talk about it.
Thanks, Raj. And we have many questions coming in. I'm not sure how many we can take in the interest of time, the stipulated time frame. But there is another common question which I can see is which ALM tool shall we refer when we are using the SAFe or implementing the SAFe? Is that Jira plugin, anything else? So any insight on the tools for the SAFe implementation?
Oh, yeah. So it's not a tool definition there. There's nothing safe recommend that you should use this tool. It doesn't say. No safe or any other framework say, please use this tool only, you'll become agile organization or safe organization. Nothing, it's not there. It is up to the organization, size of the organizations and the capacity of organizations, how they want to get these licenses and what is the value they're going to look at it is what usually say. In my experience, version 1 is one thing many people used it as a product management, project management tool. Jira is the highest one they used. Many companies they used Jira as a product management team or a project management, as a tool. Out of this, there are few good, tools are there for basically your document repository, because Jira or version 1 everything, it will give you basically my story points, the issues and all stuff will be put on it, but I don't get a centralized view of it. How my epics are getting delivered, what are the stories are delivered for each quarter or each month. That vision kind of a thing, centralized location for one tribe or one particular product lines. There are about 20 to 30 teams are there. The consolidated view will not be very difficult in the Jira. You need to filter so many things and need to get that data. The reports are there, but consolidated report is very difficult when you want to look at. So that's what we did is we use the JQLs and put them all Jira into a conference at a centralized location. The conference is the depository thing will be used and transparent to everybody. Team level to your portfolio management, they can just log in. We have stopped using any, sending these meeting minutes of meeting or weekly status reports or all those things is gone. They don't have to waste time in these operation stuff. So everything is Confluence. Move it from the Jira to the Confluence. Each and every your burn down charts, your velocities, your target to practices, your defect densities, all of them will be on the same page for all those particular things together. That is the beauty of Confluence and the Jira working together. That's what I found. And some coordination tools like Miral, Muro, and many other good things are like, Trial. Trio is there also for collaboration tools, just to make sure the team is collaborating, practicing it, and, interacting when the meetings and all stuff. The Muro and Miro used it. And those are the very good tools I use it now. So apart from this, SAFe or any framework says that please use this tool. There's nothing written there. There's no prescription for it. It's up to the organization, up to the team.
Thanks, Raj. Thanks, Malti, Ritik, for wonderful discussion. We have still a lot of questions coming in, but looking at the time frame which is provided to us, I think it is the time to conclude. So it was a great discussion. Last 45 minutes, we started with the need of SAFe, and then we walk into the various parameter of SAFe. Raj introduced a brilliant concept called as a one Bible having 4 values and 10 principle. And there are still questions coming in terms of the practical differences while we implement SAFe for the implementation organization versus the product organization. So probably if possible we will have a follow-up session maybe over a period of time by this community. So I would like to say thanks everyone, and feel there is a lot of value coming up from this discussion.